Canada has held its second annual National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. It's a time to honour and reflect on Indigenous people who were removed from their families and forcibly assimilated by the Canadian government and churches. Many did not survive the experience or return to their homes. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau attended the event on Friday. Leaders of the Reconciliation Council asked Canadians to reflect on the nation's history and treatment of Indigenous people and to commit to doing better year-round. Eric Miller joins me now from here in Washington. He's the president of the consultancy firm Rideau, Potomac, a strategy group. He's also a global fellow at the Woodrow Wilson Centre's Canada Institute, as well as a fellow at the Canadian Global Affairs Institute too. So it's a long list there. Thank you very much for your time, Eric. Now,
thank you for having me today.
Yeah, of course, National Day for Truth and Reconciliation was yesterday on Friday. Tell us about how Canada commemorated the day and more about the significance of the day too.
Well, this is the second Truth and Reconciliation Day that has been officially declared. The Parliament of Canada in 2021 officially established the day, and it was established based on the recommendation. There was one of the 94 recommendations in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which reported in 2015. And there has been a real effort, particularly since that time, to turn the page in Canada's relationship with First Nations people or Indigenous people, as they're called, and to move forward in a better and positive way.
Now, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau spoke with residential school survivors and encouraged Canadians to be more accepting of the stories of survivors. Why do you think it's important for Indigenous communities to share their intergenerational trauma with the wider public?
Well, it's been proven to be very important because there's a gap in terms of economic development and access to opportunity in Canada. And at the same time, for those who are looking at developing economic projects in the country, working with Indigenous people has never been more important, because since 1997, the Supreme Court of Canada has firmly upheld First Nations rights to their property. And so it's not only important for social cohesion, it's also important for the broader economy and the ability of Canada to get its abundant supply of resources to market.
So you talk about some of these ideas. What progress has been made since particularly commemorating this day for the first time? How has the community helped to support the reconciliation of the Indigenous peoples?
So it's been a slow and gradual process. There is a lot of information out there now that wasn't out there 15 years ago about what happened with residential schools, what happened with the so-called 60s scoop. You've also seen the emergence since the testimony of a First Nations woman in 2013 about how when she went to school on the first day, the teachers at her residential school took away her favorite orange shirt. And so that has spawned the creation of Orange Shirt Day to mark the September 30th Reconciliation Day. And so you have a willingness and an effort from First Nations people and non-First Nations people alike to pause, reflect, think about what can be done differently. And reconciliation is something that has really become part of the culture. So it's not only that it's legally required in terms of issues about relationships over lands, but it's something that, in essence, is acknowledged across the political spectrum as important for the present and future development of Canada.
Eric Miller, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.